Hey everybody. Okay, so this is the History 131 Blackboard shell for the summer. You know how the syllabus said section I-01? Well, I'm in section I-02 Blackboard shell to make everything fair. Once again, the layout is the same, the dates are the same, the folders have the same things in them. So if you are in section I-01 and you are looking at this, you will be able to find everything in the exact same place. So the landing page for the Blackboard site should be your announcements page. So when you log into our class, it should take you here. Now, what you're missing is something that you were seeing on the first day of class, which is the welcome video. As you can see, I haven't added it as of the recording of this Blackboard video. It'll be in there, though, by the time you actually look at this. Okay. It's weird, I'm coming to you from the past, you're in the future, you know, time traveling. So, this is the Blackboard site. You'll land on the announcements page. Again, that is, I'll send out announcements twice a week as emails. So they'll be here, but they'll also be in your email. Over here on the left, we've got lots of really good things to take a look at. The first thing I would recommend looking at is the Welcome to History 131 tab. Now that's the welcome video. We've got the syllabus and Blackboard tour videos. Now you can see that's last year's, so as soon as I finish uploading these, they'll go in here, and this is where you would have clicked on the one for right now that you're watching. The syllabus, which we went over in the syllabus video, but you'll also want to look at on your own. The reading breakdown. How about we take a peek at that sucker? Let's see. Over here. Alright. So this reading breakdown is literally everything that you need to be responsible for reading and turning in over the course of the semester. So all the things you need to know in terms of due dates and all that good stuff, conveniently in one location. Again, it's called the reading breakdown. So if we take a look, and I'm just going to zoom in so we can do one page together. Week 1, introductions, reviewing all the housekeeping items, and look, we're looking at something in the Welcome tab right now. You've got an Introduce Yourself discussion and a survey to do by Friday. And again, the extra, there's the period that was missing in the syllabus. Look, I found it. It's there. And you're going to take an enrollment verification quiz. Now, for the other part of week 1, again, this is all in the same week. This is all this week, the first week of classes. You're going to have actual course stuff to do. Again, you don't need your books for this. Everything you need is in Blackboard, including the lecture videos. So we'll take a look in the assignments tab where all this stuff is in just a minute. But as you can see, as you scroll through, the discussion board is going to be due by Friday, May 22nd. So if it's not due on Friday, it's very specific on when it is due. For example, week 2, the last part of week 2, you got part 1, part 2, and the folders in Blackboard match this. You've got a discussion board due Friday, May 29th, and Inquisitive, the how to use Inquisitive, you got to do that by Sunday, May 31st. You won't get a grade for that, but you need to do it. It'll show me if you do it or not. And that's just to familiarize yourself with how Inquisitive works. Moving into week 3, we have part 1 and part 2. Again, that's how all the weeks are laid out. You've got an Inquisitive activity along with some readings and lecture and part 1. Lecture's always in here, just it's just not listed because it's very visible in there. You'll see in a second. Part 2, you've got your very first group paragraph assignment due by Friday, June 5th, and an Inquisitive activity for part 2 of week 3. So as you can see, everything's in here, very meticulously laid out. So hopefully you will not miss that something is due. It says it on Blackboard, it says it in here. Major assignments like tests and paper stuff, that's in the syllabus as well. So you have to really look, or not look, I guess, to not know where something is. The discussion board FAQ document, this is what I told you about in that syllabus video. And this is questions to ask yourself before you submit the discussion board. And I wrote it in order of importance. So the things that are the most important are first, like did you answer the question? Did you do it comprehensively? Did you answer all the parts of the question? And then as you go down, did you use the proper sources? Did you cite your sources? Did you do so correctly? Is your post well organized and broken up into paragraphs? Did you proofread your work? Did you comment on 2 students' posts? Did you do so in a way that carries on the conversation, not just, yes, I agree, quite right, but also, you know, oh, I liked what you said about this, and I also thought, you know, from this reading we could add that this is really important too. Something that carries the discussion forward like you would if you were having a conversation about the topic in the classroom. That's what those comments are for. So that's the discussion board FAQ. Primary document checklist. This is just questions to think about as you're reading. You don't have to fill these in. You don't have to turn this in. This is just, if you've never read primary documents before, this is something you can look at to kind of get a general idea of what you may want to pay attention to as you read and think about. Okay, so that's in there. Is this plagiarism? That's the handout I was talking about in the syllabus when we talked about plagiarism. And active and passive voice, that is how to strengthen your writing. So active voice and passive voice. Passive voice is a problem that plagues many a paper. It would be, let's see, settlers in New England were concerned about food. So you have the were in there, that makes it passive. Food shortages concerned New England settlers. That's active. There's no were, was. It's just the verb is past tense. That makes it past tense and makes it active. This handout has other examples. So that's the welcome tab. That's basically where you should go first when you show up. And that's what the announcement said, so hopefully you did that. We'll go to the syllabus next. I'm going to go to look at it in the way that you do it. Oh, and look, I didn't... Hold on. I didn't put the syllabus in. Do you notice that I sing about things? So there will be a syllabus tab. It's actually in the other section. Sorry, IO2. Let's go to IO1. They're all green. And but yeah, if you go in here and then you switch to student view, I did do this in here. I haven't done it in IO2 yet. Apologies for that. So if you click on syllabus, you're going to see the syllabus. You'll both see this, I promise. And you're going to see a space where you mark it reviewed. And that shows me that you've read it. So only do that if you read it. Okay, and you're going to do the same thing for the student acknowledgement form. This is your way of turning that into me, saying, you know, I read the syllabus, I acknowledge everything, I'm good to go. So you will mark these both as reviewed. You need to do that, please, by Friday, hopefully. So that is what you need to do in that syllabus tab. Let's go back to IO2. Sorry, IO2. I will fix that, I promise. My IO2 friends. So that's the syllabus tab. Let's go to the assignments tab. And like I said, nerd alert, I super duper. Let's just click into week 1 and see what's in there. So it's got the dates of week 1, and you'll see 2 folders when you go in, which weirdly enough matches the reading breakdown. It has that introduction section. So there's a Flipgrid, video. Okay, so there's a Flipgrid video. You'll just log in with your JCC email. It's basically a video introduction. And if you go there, it'll tell you some things that you can talk about yourself and just let us know. You don't have to use video if you don't want to. If you're not comfortable with that, that's okay. You can just use audio. And then there's also a survey. Please do this. This just will help me get to know you. It's anonymous. Your classmates won't see it. Well, I'll be able to look at your last name and find out what your preferred name is, for example, and everything by answering the question. But I'm the only one that sees it. Classmates don't see it. Please complete that by Friday. And please complete the Flipgrid discussion board by Friday. So remember in the syllabus tour video when I said there are going to be a lot of things that are assigned during a week. They're all due on Friday. That doesn't mean wait until Friday. So far that's 2 things. And, you know, also marking the syllabus reviewed and the student acknowledgement form reviewed. So far that's 2 things, and that's the, plus that, so that's the introduction. You go to week 1, lecture videos and lecture notes. There's the outline I mentioned in the syllabus tour video. The lecture notes, which is the script, I also mentioned that in the syllabus tour video. If you click on the lecture videos, they're broken into parts, so you don't have to sit there for the entire time. You can also pause and walk away, obviously. So those are all the lecture videos for week 1. These are all the readings here. History Study Center is where you'll find Columbus, and there are instructions here. I think you know what, I think it's changed slightly. Why don't we just do this together right now? So the way you'll access the History Study Center readings are you'll click on the library page from the JCC homepage. You click on resources, by subject under databases. You'll go down to cultures and history. There is History Study Center. And then you'll be prompted to log in with your with your JCC username and password. I was entering in my So you'll log in Perfect. Then you'll enter, just search for it, Columbus. And since it's documents, I'm going to do historical documents, so I'll lower my search. And then, I believe, we match the title, A Letter of Christopher Columbus, the First Description of the New World. There it is. And there's the document. So that, my friends, is how you will access that History Study Center document from the Blackboard site. How to cite your sources. Please watch this video before you do the discussion board. This shows you how to do parenthetical citations. Please, 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 check that out. And then you have a discussion board that's going to be due Friday night. This is based on everything in this part of week 1. After doing all this stuff, reading, watching the lectures, you will be able to answer this question. Based on lecture and readings, explain how Native and European societies differ. How were they similar? It'll be 500 words. You'll need to do at least 2 comments, you'll need to comment on at least 2 other students' posts. And again, you need to do something that carries the conversation forward. So all of that is due Friday, March 22nd, 11:59 p.m. Okay? Discussion board, Flipgrid, survey, marking those things reviewed. Okay? All of that. So, like I said, you'll want to budget your time wisely. And then go into week 2. It's pretty similar. So, here's where we start reading the book. These are just links to the book itself. If you have the code and everything, this will just open, it should open into your book. If I, for example, highlight something or put a note in for you, you'll see it when you read the book. Okay? Kind of cool. We'll nerd that a little bit. You've got an Inquisitive, how to use Inquisitive. I'll open this for you. I'll just take a look at it real quick. So, if I were to try this activity with a student, you have to answer at least 10 questions, all that stuff. So, you start answering questions, you'll fill in the labels, you school points in Inquisitive by answering, and then here's the question of confidence, that thing I was telling you about. You can slide it up, or you can slide it down. See? And then you would answer this, and you continue through the activity. Okay, so do that. Week 2, part 1, week 2, part 2, and you have a week 2 discussion board that's basically going to include things from both of these. But Conflict in North America, part 1, these are the lecture videos. As you can see, I'm going to ruin Pocahontas for you, so I hope you don't like the Disney movie too much. You'll probably still like it after I get done trashing. Week 2, part 2 has the other portion of that and a couple of readings, like in 18th century New England, or sorry, 18th century America, which includes New England. And then you'll have a discussion board, Degrees of Freedom in 17th and early 18th century North America, various definitions of freedom, slaves, indentured servants, women, Indians, property owners, inclusion. Now, we're going to talk about slavery a lot more. Now, you have the section on the book for slavery here. And you will see in week 3 that you're going to read more of this chapter in week 3. So for slavery, you'll have some information, but you won't have a very comprehensive view yet. That will come next week. But you will be able to speak to freedom for slaves a little bit here. Okay, so that is the assignments tab. Everything is laid out. If there's a major assignment, it's listed here. Like I said, you have to actively hide under a rock to not know when things are due in the class. That's because I really, really want you guys to succeed. Groups. Remember that group paragraph thing I mentioned? Okay, so here's an instructional video on group paragraphs. I did this in the spring when some of the prompts are the same, some of them are different. So it's the instructions on how to do it that you want to focus on, not necessarily the questions. Now, if we take a look, though, these are, for example, the week 3. These are week 5. These are week 9. So you'll be sorted into groups of roughly 4. I think there will probably be an extra person that gets sorted into another group. And your group will answer whatever number corresponds with your group. If you're paragraph group 1, you'll do the question for paragraph group 1, which is choosing a major point from Elaine's article. That is spelled wrong. And put it in your own words. Historian J.M. Elaine argues that, you fill it in. And use the rest of the paragraph to explain how she supports that. What is one important thing we learned from the process of enslavement? That's group 2 from reading a lot of Equiano, which is Voices of Freedom, document number 21. So, remember what I said with the 150 to 200 words? This is a small zoom in on one of the things that we're learning this week in week 3, okay? So your group will get together and write 150 to 200 words responding to your question on a specific part of this week's material. So that's where you can find that. Again, I clicked right there, which is the group paragraph assignments. Questions located here. Okay, and this is just how that will work. There will also be another tab. I can't create it yet because you guys aren't enrolled in the class yet, which you will be on the first day of class on Monday, May 18th, and you hopefully are looking at this because you want to go ahead and get started. There will be a groups tab, the groups section here. It'll say groups, paragraph groups located here, and you'll click on it and you'll have your group in there. You'll have access to the discussion board tool, the email tool, and the file exchange tool. So, as this video will explain, you can use the discussion board and the file exchange to exchange drafts and ideas. You can email each other using the email tool, so you can get up with each other outside of Blackboard. You don't have to wait for somebody to pop into the Blackboard group. You can email your group members. You will upload with the names of the people who worked on it. If there are 5 people in your group and 3 people worked on it, I don't want the names of the 2 people who didn't work on it because they don't put their names on it if they don't work on it, right? You don't put their names on it if they don't work on it. If everybody works on it, which I hope they do, awesome, put all 5 names on it. And then upload that into the file exchange and label it as the final draft. That is the one that I will grade and give feedback on. And your video above, watch that on the paragraphs, that will specify something. So be sure to do that, take part in that work, take part in that thought process, and get your name on that, and work together to put together a concise paragraph. And if your name is not on the final paragraph for some reason, it gets left off by accident, you need to be able to demonstrate that you were part of the process. That means there needs to be evidence, right? You uploaded part of the draft in the file exchange, or you're in the discussion board thread offering a quote from a source or something. So if you worked on it and your name's not on the final draft, I need to be able to see in your group that you did work on it, okay? Or you forwarded me an email chain or something. So, you know, be aware of that. If someone accidentally leaves your name off, it happens, people make mistakes. I need to be able to see from you where you contributed to it, okay? All right. My instructor tab. Look, it's me. And my email address. I will update this by the time you see it with my Google Voice phone number. It'll have the Skype office hour or Zoom office hour stuff. Again, I'm going to know on Thursday. It's actually Tuesday, May 12th. So we start in 6 days. And I will have this all up to date in the next couple of days on the Google Voice number and those Tuesday, Wednesday, 1 to 1:30 p.m. virtual office hours information. All of that will be in here. So you can go to My Instructor and you'll see that. And you can see this picture of me from, I want to say, 2011. And you can tell because I'm rested and I had the time to put makeup on and my hair has been dyed. I don't have any kids in this picture. You can see. Because look at how rested I am. Alright, so that is the main stuff. That is it for Blackboard, I believe. Just be sure to look at everything in the Welcome tab, go through all the videos, mark the enrollment verification quiz and the syllabus is reviewed after you've read them. Or not the student acknowledgement form, rather. Take the enrollment verification quiz. We need to take that. Again, we move really fast. Try not to get overwhelmed. You can do this if you plan your time wisely. I'm sure it sounds really hard and overwhelming. The key to it is going to be time management. Okay, and you can contact me with any questions or concerns. Like I said, review all the materials, be prepared to do all that introduction stuff and week 1 stuff. It's all due May 22nd, the Friday, by 11:59 p.m.